When you hear the word democracy, you automatically think about Canada, United States, Great Britain, democratic countries, or what they call themselves democratic countries. Really, they're republics and whatever. But right now, they're convening the two sessions in China, and it's a full process democracy. It's different than what we are used to in the West. You see, people throughout the year, throughout a 5-year, throughout a 50-year plan, throughout a 100-year plan, they're part of that process throughout the whole thing. They don't just show up every 4 years and vote and then go back into hibernation and let the elite, the minority elite from that country run the country into the ground. Politicians here, if they don't do what's good for the citizens and the people of the country, well, they just don't have a job for very long. And you see, and that's a good thing. And that's how you can get, well, let me do a 360 here, guys. That's how you can get a place like this, a futuristic city. And this is a Tier 2 city. It used to be a Tier 3 city, and the only reason it's a Tier 2 city is because it's the capital city of Guangxi Autonomous Regions, on the Autonomous Region. And it's a small city. It's only between 8 and 9 million people. But you can get futuristic places like this because of the full process democracy system that they have here in China. And people say, oh, China's communist. No, China's probably the furthest thing, and this is my opinion. There is the Communist Party of China name attached to the government here in China, but I've never seen a country that's more capitalistic than China is. Everything is about money. During these two sessions, they plan, economic growth. They plan military spending, and military spending is up in China. They have to defend themselves against that ugly beast over there, the United States of America, and all of their little crony people. So their defense budget has ballooned, but for a country of 1.4 billion people, one of the most populated countries in the world, their defense spending is less than a lot of Western countries. Yeah, it's just that way, and way less in the United States. It's just like, holy smokes. But you see, they don't build their military to be offensive. They build their military to be defensive. They want to defend China from that ugly beast over there. So when they get into these two sessions, they discuss everything from healthcare to poverty alleviation to economic growth, rather than seeing China collapse like the Western world and the Western media states that they're going to, or have, or will, or in the midst of, or you know what I mean. Their economy is actually growing. If the Western countries had the economy that growth that China has, they'd be patting themselves on the back and saying, oh, we're doing a real good job. But because it's China, and there's the Adrian Zenzes out there, and the naysayers, the trolls, the anti-China establishment, the mainstream media, the politicians, the Trumps, the Bidens, and all of those other people that just don't like China because it's an economic powerhouse, and it's the next leader of the free world. And yes, the free world is a democratic term used by the people that have started more wars in the last 240 years of their existence than any other country in the world. So when you hear about the free world, start thinking about China, because I'm a foreigner living in China. I've lived in China for 20 years, over 20 years. I've never had a problem with anybody or anything. I've never had a problem with government. I've never had. It's as free or freer than the Western world. And I show that in some of my videos where I walk down the street and I've got a beer in my hand. I do that to show you that people aren't regulated to the level that they are in the Western world. You can go down to the river and fish. You don't need a license. You're not taxed. And a fishing license is a tax. You can buy a home here in China, and you don't pay property taxes. If you don't pay your property taxes in the Western world, what do you think they do to you? They take your house away. So you think that you're free. You think that you've got it better than anybody else around the world, and that's mainly because they tell you so in mainstream media. They brainwash your asses, and you don't know any better. Ask some people that have come over and lived in China for a long time, and the majority of them, the ones that aren't making money off bashing China, will tell you the truth and tell you what a neat place this is. There's like one piece of trash, just a cigarette butt, one homeless person, just point one tent. One drug addict, one needle on the street. Just point one thing out. And this is a city of between 8 and 9 million people, guys and girls. You know what I mean? So when you hear about how the West is demeaning China and saying China is somehow this bad place, look around you. Watch videos from people like yours truly, Gweilo 60, or Lee Barrett, or Daniel Dumbrow, or Alex from Reporter Fine Media. Chongqing is an amazing city. It's over 33 million people. And yes, it's as clean as Nanning City. It's got subways, it's got high-rises, it's got a lot of Western food, a lot of Western restaurants. I went with Dr. Robert to a Russian restaurant, we went to an Italian restaurant, we went to a Turkish restaurant, we went to, all of these different restaurants that they have from all around the world. And you've got that here in China. You wouldn't have all these people from all around the world in China if there wasn't something here that attracts them. And the one thing that attracted me, well, Wei Fong attracted me here to begin with, but after it was all said and done, I came back here because I found that China was a better place to live than even Canada. It's got better weather, it's got better people, maybe not better people. The people here aren't as violent. The rules and regulations are a lot stricter when you come into the drugs and violence and stuff like that. And maybe that's why it's so safe on the streets here, because they have rules and they enforce those rules. Not like in the West where you catch and release. So the economy is great here. The cost of living is great here. They have rules that they enforce, but those rules that they enforce are the ones that should be enforced, and they don't sweat the little shit. So when people are giving you a fine for fishing without a fishing license, are taxing the living bejesus out of everything, a GST, goods and services tax, oh yeah, no, a carbon tax, no, they don't have all of that stuff here. So it makes it easier for your regular person to live. So when you watch all this negative news, when you watch the negative politicians on China, you watch the anti-China trolls on YouTube, and you see the anti-China books like The Coming Collapse of China, or the genocide of the Uyghur people, or that it's all propaganda portrayed by the United States of America. They spend $300 million or more just giving to YouTubers or news outlets, journalists, to blacken the face of China, the Chinese people and the Chinese government. They pay for anti-China propaganda against China because they want China to look poor and totalitarian to their people in their country, because they want the people in their country not to understand that they don't have it as good as the Chinese people have. And it's all because the Chinese government has these planned meetings where they plan the future for the country. They plan the military spending. They plan health care and poverty alleviation and all of the things that make the lives of the Chinese people better. So when you see all of that anti-China stuff, take it with a grain of salt, because China is a better place to live than the United States of America. I've lived in the States. I can attest to that. I've lived in Canada. I can attest to that. And I've lived in China, and I'm here in China because it is a better place to live. Guaranteed, hands down, no bullshit, and that's the way it is. And that, my friends, is another video from Gweilo 60 in 5 Elephant Park in Langdong area of Nanning, China, in the southwestern portion of China. An hour and a half from the South China Sea and an hour and a half from the Vietnamese border. Friendship Pass. Yes, sirree. Until next time, like, comment, subscribe, resubscribe. Until next time, peace out. Bye now. And when aliens land in China, they don't pick them up and haul them away to a secret base out in the middle of the Nevada desert, Area 51. What they do is they turn it into a restaurant and put it in a park so that everybody can experience the alien experience here in China. Oh yeah. You don't think it's real?